Well, this is either a fun little story or completely infuriating.
What's he unboxing? What'd it be? Well, I don't know. Shut up and see.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. The story behind me buying this book is kind of infuriating, and if you've been following my channel for a while, you know it because it was a big hullabaloo over the weekend where this author, Todd Keisling, put Richard Chizmar on blast. Apparently, Richard Chizmar was 3 weeks behind on a royalty payment, and Todd very politely said, "Hey, I need my royalty payment. You know, you're selling my books. That's my work. I need some money." He didn't say it like that, but he said, I need my payment. And Richard Chizmar came back with a laughing emoji. Ha ha ha. I'll check when I'm back in the office with the people who do that sort of thing. You could tell it was a total brush off. And Todd wrote back, "Well, I don't know why you're laughing. I depend on that money. That's my income." And then Richard Chizmar said, basically, he's laughing because he's a funny little man. You're a funny little man. So it blew up, and Todd put out there the texts, and it was like the poison sack that was just full of the bullshit Richard Chizmar has been doing in the industry. And Todd walked up with this big stick and says, "What's this shit?" Bam, poked it. And then all the poison starts spilling out. Everybody came out of the woodwork talking about, yeah, he screwed me over and I had to hunt him down to get paid. And he's really, it's not just that they have to hunt him down to get paid. It's his attitude when they do. And the way he's a bully, basically, because when he said to Todd Keisling, "You're a funny little man," he's saying, "I am bigger than you, either physically, financially, reputationally, but whatever." He's basically saying, "I have the cards. You're nothing to me. I'll get back to you with your 3 weeks late." Like, there are people that have been waiting. Jeff Strand's one of them, has been waiting 8 years to get his royalties for the ebook of one of his books. So it's been a long time coming, and this was the excuse everybody had to come out of the woodwork with their horror stories. And it's been a bad weekend for Richard Chizmar, but it turned into something good, and I think that's the lesson here. And what I'm going to take away from it is that it got Richard Chizmar to have that Ebenezer Scrooge overnight turnaround, because he started giving everybody their rights back. He started paying people. I've heard from other people who had outstanding debts with him, and he made good on them. I think he made good with Todd. He gave him the rights to his 2 Cemetery Dance books back to him so that he can release them from another publisher and all these other things. So ugly, but necessary. And in the end, I think we're all kind of better for it. But more particular, in a more direct way, it was good for this book I'm holding in my hands, because this is the new Todd Keisling release, and it was released via Shortwave, who did the D7 novella that was just tremendous. The story is great. It's Philip Fracassi, so you're all covered there. But it's a beautiful neat little chapbook novella, and they did a great job on that. I had an advanced review copy. I shared it here. I did a review. Great stuff. So they were doing Todd Keisling's new book. So as someone who's like, I'm not going to sit there and just pile on and be super negative. I've never read a Todd Keisling book. I heard good things, because that's the other thing, that with this kerfuffle, people started talking about his work and that he's a great writer and all these things. So I'd seen his name, of course, in the horror community, but I had never had an opportunity to read him. So I said, well, let's pull some positivity out of this shit pie and get his new book. So I bought it from Shortwave, and he shipped it priority. That was really nice. Didn't have to. I didn't pay for priority, so that was really, really kind, and I appreciate that. And if you remember, they come in these boxes. This looks like a keyboard box. It's very cool. But D7 also came in a little box. It's a tray case. I geeked out about it. Maybe I geeked out a little too much, because I have a tendency to do that. But I really dig it. I don't know what it is. And I'd be very tempted to just keep the book in this box. So the cool thing was, it was the first 300 pre-orders were coming with a signed book plate, and I didn't know if I was within that window. I had an email communication with Shortwave, and he told me that, yeah, I'm getting a signed book plate. So that was awesome as well. So here it is, the Sundowners Dance, Todd Keisling. I got to say, it's pretty awesome that this box was in the bag, and it's a great way to ship a book. Wow. I mean, you could buy this direct from Shortwave, or you could buy it on Amazon, etc. But, wherever books are sold. But I always like to go direct to the publisher when I can. And in this case, you're really greatly rewarded for it. So here it is. I can't do a review for you, but I can show you the book. And, we got all kinds of stuff in here. Let me share that with you. So a promotion for another book called Rest Stop. Very cool bookmark. By Nat Cassidy. Huh. I'm getting a Nat Cassidy When the Wolf Comes Home. Very cool. I did not know that. See that? I love it. I love it. Rareview Acres. Howdy, neighbor. Huh. Oh, is this some sort of promotion? This is kind of cool. This is Sundowners Dance. It's Sundowners. If you don't know that is a term. The Sundowners is a term for elderly individuals who kind of have, I think it's like, and I'm probably butchering this, but like dementia after sundown. They kind of lose connection to the world. It's a very heartbreaking thing for a lot of families to go through, but it affects seniors and people in advanced years. And this sort of Fairview Acres, this feels like it's part of the book as a promotion. Now, I'm not going to read it all, but unless they're like, man, Jeff is about ready for retirement living, Fairview Acres. I'll take pictures of this and post it, but I have a feeling it's sort of tangential to the book. Arthur Peterson. Very cool. I dig it. That's so cool. And then, of course, the signed book plate. Bam! Todd Keisling's got a pretty badass signature, I think. Very cool. Oh, man, I like that. I like it. So here's the book. I'm not familiar really at all with what it's about, but I did see the reviews. Library Journal said it has heart and horror. That's a great mix. I think you got to have both. You got to get me invested in the story. Very nice hardcover. Very nice, very solid. A Shortwave book. So I'll show you the naked book. Ooh, oh, damn. Damn, I did not expect to be like going, oh, damn, because it's a very cool, and this confirms that Fairview Acres is a tie into the book, because there's the eye. This is so cool. That is so cool. I love that stuff. I geek out. You want to make it an event with a new book. So very cool. It is. It feels like skin. It's like aqueous printed. I don't know what it's called. But nice boards. I like the feel. I like that design. I like adding to it, to the book and the Sundowners Dance. I'm really looking forward to reading this. So yeah, part 1, Fairview. So that's wild. Let me see. I can read to you what the book is about, I suppose. Jerry Campbell just wants to be left alone. Grief-stricken over the death of his wife, Abigail, the elderly widower and recent retiree is desperate for a change of scenery. When his realtor suggests a new home in Fairview Acres, a retirement community in the Poconos, Jerry figures it will be a nice place to spend the rest of his days in solitude until he moves in. Weird neighbors, nightly block parties, strange noises across his rooftop at all hours. Worst of all is Arthur Peterson, chairman of the Fairview Acres Committee Association, who seems obsessed with coaxing Jerry into participating in these neighborhood activities. At first, Jerry shrugs off the incidents and eccentricities, telling himself he doesn't really want to be he doesn't want to be the guy who complains about everything, but all that changes one evening when Catherine Donnelly appears in his doorstep with an ominous warning. You need to leave. The worms, they dance at nightfall. His neighbors all say Catherine suffers from a form of dementia called Sundowners syndrome, but as the weeks progress and the strangeness mounts, Jerry begins to suspect there's something else going on in his neighborhood, something that has to do with the huge stone in the community park. I think that's cool. I like that. I've, again, heard great things about Todd's work. The funny thing is that when all this happened, I sent Todd a friend request on Facebook because I wanted, I was going to recommend that he join a Facebook group called Blocked by Richard Chizmar, which is a community of people who've been blocked by Richard Chizmar because he can't adult, he can't have a dialogue with people. He just blocks you and runs away. But he said he was inundated with friends requests and he doesn't friend anyone he doesn't personally know, which makes sense. So I rescinded my request so don't send him a friend request, but do buy the book. Now, on that note, the book is back ordered. So the response to the kerfuffle, I think a lot of people did like I did and said, you know what, let's give this guy who's going through some shit right now a little hand and get him maybe a great read out of it. So equal, mutual benefit here. And they went and they cleared out Shortwave, which is awesome. I love the indie publishers that get the business. I love sellouts, because that keeps the businesses healthy and whatnot. So if you're going to order from Shortwave directly, you have to wait a little while. I don't know if Amazon has a supply, etc. But you could see how Shortwave ships. And I'm sure you have a lot on your TBR, so I would wait for Shortwave to get their stock back before ordering. But that would be just my call. That's what I would do. But very cool. I'm very happy. It's a nice little package. I think now that I read that thing, I think I hate this guy, Arthur Peterson, even more. Love this stuff. This is so cool. Thank you so much for sending it along, Shortwave. And I addressed the publisher. Sorry, I'm not calling names. I'm just going to address the publisher because it's a team, I'm sure, even though there is one individual who is basically Shortwave. But thank you, Todd. Sorry you had to go through that. I hope this is a one of those funny when you talk about it years from now. But I know it's probably infuriating right now. But hopefully you get some good comes out of it. We always love that, don't we? So get over there, check it out. Check out other Todd Keisling titles. And I will probably do a review of this book so you guys can know what I thought of the contents of the book. It sounds very intriguing. I think it's something I'm going to like. And I think it would pair well with that upcoming Philip Fracassi novel, Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre, that I did read, and I absolutely loved it. So we're getting a little theme going. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for joining me this time. Hope to see you again next time. And in the meantime, stay frosty.